All right, what's up, you heathens and demons, you sinners and saints, you blasphemous, beautiful bastards. Welcome back to The Rage, if I could speak. I am the Raging Atheist. This is going to be fun, and it might be a bit confusing based on the title, Matt Powell and climate change, because I'm not really talking about Matt Powell, I'm talking about Smokey Saint today, and I'm talking about the last interaction I had with Smokey. I'm going to be covering it. This could be a long stream because it might be a little longer than I recall. It was very late when I did this, and we'll get into all of that. But what's up, chat? What's up? This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking climate change with Smokey Saint. I did issue an invitation to Smokey Saint yesterday when we were streaming, and he was in the side chat, that I would be doing this right now, and that if he wanted to, he could come in and talk to me. And I have it set up. He can do so. So if he shows up, Smokey, you can come in and we can talk here on my channel for a change. But we'll get into all that. All right, so tonight, 6 p.m., Women of Atheism Roundtable. John is hosting, but he'll be backstage for most of it, and Misha Griffith will be moderating a great discussion with Saf, with I can't remember all the people that's going to be in there. Jenna Belk, Saf, and Tropic Thunder. So it should be a really good discussion tonight. I do have something that I have to do with my child, but I should be here for most of that, if not all of it. So that's at 6 p.m. tonight. Should be an awesome episode. I'm also setting up different ways for people to be able to support the show again. You can tip the show, leave a message, and at the end of the show, I'll read that message and acknowledge your tip. I thought I could get it set up to look like super chats, but I am either failing miserably at that, or it's just not possible. You can buy Rage merch. Wait, where's it? It's right there. You can buy that now. I will be adding more to it. I'm going to be adding some Trash Clown merch, some specifically designed merch for Smokey Saint and crew. That'll be coming soon. I'll have a Buy Me a Book feature. We kind of ran a test with it already, and links are for all of this is in the description. So today, we are going to be talking about Smokey. But first, I want to say what's up, chat. What's up? I seen that Hamable was here, Immutable is here, Rational Canadian Atheist, Jay Spatchcock is gonna try to listen in, but having some issues. Red Fang, what's up, Red Fang? Call me Emo, Brainbug, Math Pig, Native Atheist, Kent Hovind CPA, what's up, Kent Hovind CPA? Trash Clown is here, what's up, Trash Clown? What's up, Trash Clown? We're gonna have fun. And this is a Smokey Saint episode of The Raging Atheist, so we'll just start it off. We'll start it off with this one.
If someone could say that about, excuse me, rat roach retard, I'm talking. If that was to be said about any other people or any other culture, would it not be racist?
All right, so it's nice to meet you, Smokey.
Would you answer the question, you disgusting coward sack of subhuman crap that tries to virtue signal as something meaningful when you are useless social cancer that needs to be scraped off our boot as soon as humanly possible?
Oh, it's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be fun, and we're gonna get right into it. So, this was a couple days ago, and it was late. I had been hanging out, so I got out of work pretty late. I was tired when I got out of work, and I told myself, hey, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go to bed. And of course, I didn't do that. I came home. I got online. I ended up going into Jay Spatchcock's on his channel and having a good conversation. And then they were talking about what was going down at Praises. So we ended that conversation. All of us went to Praises channel. And that's the night that Gavin was just like being a complete fucking Nazi, timing out everybody. I'm going to mention it briefly. He timed me out, and then finally Praise gave everybody wrenches, and then Praise became a Nazi and started timing out everybody. I think Praise might have been drunk. I really think Praise might have been drunk. I used to be an alcoholic. I can spot some alcoholic type behaviors. So I think Praise might have been drunk. And, you know, and it just really wasn't fun because I kept getting timed out all the fucking time because, you know, they're cowards and they don't let me fucking talk. And I saw that Smokey was streaming. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go to bed, but I'm just going to go and check out what he's saying. Maybe he's talking shit about me. So I go over there and I end up going into the room. And when I first went into the room, I'm like, you know, I'm going to be really, really quick about this. I'm going to be really super fast. I'm just going to go in, I'm going to hop in, and I'm going to be nice. And that was my intentions. But, you know, I'm stupid. And I don't never go to bed like I say I'm going to go to bed. Even though I know that I'm not going to sleep in, I'm going to wake up still early as fuck. It's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt me for a couple days. So, my last interaction with Smokey Saint. Not my last, just the last one that's happened so far. I'm sure we'll be interacting again. And again, Smokey, I got a setup, dog. I got a setup. If you're there, if you're listening, you can come in and talk to me on my channel for a change. You know, you got mad when I was fucking with you yesterday and I called you a coward. I don't really think you're a coward, but I'm going to start thinking you're a coward if you don't grow some balls and come on my channel to have a conversation. I'm following you in all these fucking rooms. Come on my channel and have a conversation, dude. All right. Let's go.
Defeat it. So his whole video was essentially, to me, just completely pointless.
What time do you start, Math Pig? I might be able to hop in depending on what time it is and you know what time I end up, because today my daughter's open house at school. Now she's doing online schooling for the first semester, but we have to go to the school and get her computer, so, and all that stuff. So yeah, depending on what time, I might be able to hop in for a little bit. Well, let's go.
Like, he never.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's true, Red Fang. Maybe it was Gavin still doing it. That's possible. But I mean, I don't know. If I was praised and I gave everybody a wrench so Gavin couldn't time people out anymore, and then Gavin was still timing people out, that pissed me off. And I'd fucking take away all power from my channel from that dude. So, you know, that's still on praise. It's his channel. It's his fucking channel. So yeah, but you could be right about that.
Said like he said, well, this is kind of what they think in their
Mama
worldview,
Atheist?
and then he's not ever like, well, this is why it's wrong. He never did that.
Yeah, it's
He's
cojones.
like, well, this is what it looks like in their.
Immutable Destiny. Remember, Rage, it's cojones, not balls. Cojones had oddly become one of Maddox's favorite new words. Between that and when his coworkers used to call him Alpha Wolf. I haven't heard the Alpha Wolf, but I have heard him say cojones. And yes, you're right. In honor of Mad Ducks, from here on out, the Rage will no longer talk about balls. We will refer to them as cojones in honor of the Mad Ducks.
Worldview, and then called it a day. It was just a weird, kind of bizarre situation. Oh, this is interesting. Knock, isn't it past your bedtime?
Yeah, it is. I just wanted to come and say hi.
Sounds a little low. Let me see if I can turn it up, and maybe that'll help. If hopefully it's not too low for you guys. It sounds a little low to me.
Missed you on my birthday.
Oh, did you? Well, your Mr. Horsebrain chased me away. He said it was probably a non-essential that I be there. And plus, you had a 6-hour stream. I hear it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
You know, I'm actually glad you are here, Mama Atheist. And even if you don't make it to the end when we're talking about climate change, you know, I want to utilize you because it's been a while since I looked at my info. So I'm going to be pulling out my info. Updating all my info, and I want to utilize you and your knowledge on climate change to make sure I have current and accurate information. So I'll be reaching out to you. Spoiler alert, me and Smokey have agreed to another debate, this one on climate change. So I think that might give away his position. Just maybe. But I don't want to spoil it too much.
My chatbot went Nazi and timed out Shannon Q, so I'm still going to think about that.
What the heck for?
She wished me happy birthday in all caps. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh no, all caps, the carnal chats.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't have it all set up right. But no, I'm not going to come and rain on y'all's parade. I was just coming to say what's up. I am going to bed. I was in Praise's chat, and they went Nazi over there, and I'm like, I'm gonna come over here to Smokey, and Smokey never times me out. So
No, man, I'm all about free speech, bro. 100%.
yeah.
Man, I got timed out too.
All right, so a couple days ago when I streamed, I asked you guys to remember for 2 days, and hopefully you'll remember that stream where Smokey wasn't about free speech and wasn't about not timing people out and wasn't about kicking people from their room, as he totally got triggered by Cerberus X, expelled him from his open room, and yeah, he always is timing people out. He used to have a rule to time out the cockroaches, right? So I wanted you guys to remember that, because when he's dealing with me, it's a different story. Oh, it's free speech. It's don't, like, I have literally went into his side chats, and the first thing he says when I say something is talking to his mods, telling them, do not time out rage. It's a different standard for your boy. And again, like Smokey, you can come in and address this. Maybe I'm wrong. You can come in and address this, and we can have a conversation right now, right here on the Rage. But it seems to me there's a different standard for me, which tells me I am all up in your head, homeboy. I am all up in that head. I am written space for free. You think about me all the time. You watch me all the time. And I love it. I love it. And that's why I had this screen just for you, Icky Taint. Just for you. This one's just for you. That's just for you. That's for you, Icky. I'm helping you out. I'm helping you out. You can cut that out. You can blow it up on a picture. Put it on your ceiling, so when you're laying down and you're rubbing one out, you can see your boy. That's for you, Icky.
So
Christian, atheist, everybody was getting timed out. It was.
What were they talking about over there, by the way? I didn't even know they were streaming.
Can I ask a question?
It was Gavin. Gavin was
happy birthday.
Was going the little cuckoo.
Free spirit. Happy birthday.
Too many wrenches.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, well, now everybody has a wrench, and Praise is timing out people. So.
What is that crazy thing he has, man? Is that an app, a synthesizer app, or is that what does he have?
I was having fun. I was like, "Where's Jeffrey?" I don't know if you guys watch Dark Matter.
He bought himself a soundboard. It's the worst thing to happen to YouTube ever.
Yeah.
All right, so like we're having fun, right? Like I'm there to be cool. I'm there to be nice. Having fun, talking shit about praise, and all the Christians are talking shit about praise too. I mean, it was good times. I mean, these are how memories are made. These are how friendships begin. And it should have just been there. It'd been like, chill, cool, have fun. I'm out. Peace. You guys have a good stream.
He sounds like Dark Matter's Yahweh. I swear.
the helium voice it was okay, but other than that, I didn't. It's fart noises and then a bunch of crap.
But hey, I am going to get out of here. I just wanted to come in and say happy hello, and I am going to bed though. So you guys have a good night.
Well, happy belated birthday, since I didn't make it on your birthday.
I appreciate it. And Nicholas, I am going to email you. I want to have you on my channel one-on-one. I think you're very interesting.
Oh yes, and by the way, anyone in chat that ever wants to talk trash about me at any point in time, Knock will happily host you. So
yes, I will. I will. I'm some of.
Oh, I would totally, like, if you want to come on and talk shit about Smokey Saint and talk about your experiences and how he's called you a trash clown or how he's called you a worthless cockroach or, how you have a garbage worldview. Maybe he went super low with you and talked about how you have the brain of a pickle. I don't know. He's done it before. I can't remember who was the target of that. But I think he's done that before. So experiences with this, narcissist, please come and have a conversation with me. I would love it. I dig that. I will totally have you on this channel, and we can sit here for an hour and just talk shit about Icky Taint.
his best content, so don't deprive him.
We were just talking about that on Jay Spashcock's channel. You have been a godsend.
I mean it.
Well, you've helped me out a little bit.
I mean that from the deepest parts of my heart, Smokey. Like you have been a godsend, and there you are. You're in the chat now. You're in the chat. You can come on. You can wait till after the review. I mean, if you wanna, see it all. But I mean, you don't have to be a little bitch made. You can come on and you can have a conversation. And you are here now, so I just want to make sure that I help you out. Just trying to help you out, dog. Just trying to help. That's for you, Smokey. That's for you. All right, let's go.
Too. So I guess.
Yeah, I try. But you guys have a good night. I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, take care, Rage.
All right, man.
Don't you guys have a common, I wouldn't say enemy, but a foe in Matt Powell?
No, Matt Powell's not a foe. I've never associated Matt Powell as a foe. In fact,
I don't mean that. That was probably for lack of a
yeah,
better
no,
word.
that's strong words. I mean, Matt, I don't agree with a lot. I mean, Matt Powell knows this, so it's not like Matt Powell is ignorant of how I think he kind of knows me even from back in the day.
I'm telling you, no. Well, so you never came out, Smokey. You've never came out and said what you disagree with Matt Powell about, and we'll get into that because I mean it's not over. I'm gonna come back in. Of course, I left the room and I was all chill as fuck. I was nice. They gonna talk their shit, but so let me inform you about Matt Powell, Smokey Saint. Like once you come out and you talk about what you disagree with him about. That's the moment he will no longer consider you a Christian. We've had this conversation. If you don't follow the Bible like he does, he doesn't consider you to be a Christian. Now, he'll use you in his propaganda campaign against me, but he won't consider you a Christian. Just to clarify that. But I'm going to be coming back in. Because they're going to be talking shit, and I'm in the side chat still talking shit. So, it couldn't just be pleasantries and leave, of course. I was trying to do that. I was just trying to pop in, give Smokey just a little bone. Hey, the rage is here, and I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to leave. But that's not how it's going to turn out.
Like years ago, because I would listen to their streams and sermons, and I would comment about things I didn't think were quite right.
Again, Smokey, you can come on.
I mean, Matt Powell doesn't see me as like some enemy or contender or anything.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like we see things a little bit differently, but we still associate each other, with a brotherhood. So I mean, there's nothing. I mean, he even
and still associating each other with a brotherhood. Like I have shown you now what he says. I have shown you the atrocious things he stands for. Now, you might not come out and say that you are for instilling theocracy back into America, but when you say you have a brothership with Matt Powell, you are linking yourself to that, Smokey. So do you think we should have a theocracy in America, Smokey Saint? Like, you can come on right now and answer that question. And you can also come on right now and tell me exactly what it is you disagree with Matt Powell about, because you've never clarified. Is it, the genocide of all gay people, or would you be cool with that? Is it killing adulterous wives, or would you be cool with that? Is it dashing the children's heads against the stones, or are you cool with that? I'm asking because you've never fucking clarified, and here you are still claiming a brothership with that atrocious piece of shit. What kind of Christian are you? Are you going to stand for decency, or are you going to stand with Matt Powell? But let's continue.
Did a video to promote me. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No, is it on his channel? Okay, pull it up.
I'll pull it up and play a minute. Here, hold on. I'll pull it up because he did some of his awesome cuts and edits for.
Awesome cuts and edits. Glorifying the fact that he did this video. That you are now linked into this feud between us. And we're going to talk about it when I come back on. A little bit. It's like Smokey doesn't really let you really get into any kind of explanations, he'll cut you off and start a different conversation. But, you're going to glorify that this atrocious human being is covering you, giving you more coverage, giving you access to the atrocious Christians that watch him. And you're glorifying that. See, that's the issue. That's a fucking issue. That's a fucking issue. That's a fucking issue. Am I going to post the link? All right, so are you going to come in, Smokey? Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Yes. This link is just for you, Smokey Saint. Just for you. Come on in. Come on in. I'm going to have to do some work, so give me a second when you come in. And we'll just go right up here. I'll wait for you to come in, and we'll have this conversation. I can always finish covering this later. So, all right. This is going to be fun, guys. This is going to be fun. Stay tuned. Let me get over to StreamYard. We'll see when he comes in. And then I'm going to have to get you on the screen. So you're going to have to give me a moment. I thought we were talking climate change. We will get there eventually. Mama Atheist. If not today, because he's surprising me. He's going to have the courage. He's going to come in and talk. I was hoping this would happen. There he is. All right, so give me 1 second, Smokey. Let me get you onto the screen. So let me bring this shit up.
I mean, like, is there really anything to put up? It's just like my avatar. I mean, can we just like talk? You're
good.
Does that have to like be a thing? Like,
you're good. You can talk. But I got you on the screen now, so you're good. All right. What up, Smokey?
Okay. You have my avatar on the screen. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay.
The visual aesthetics. You'll learn these things as you stream for longer.
Well, no, I gave up on kind of really wanting to mess with the OBS too much because it's just, I get it. And I get it kind of gives you some of those little extra professional edges if you want it. But it for me, it's just a lot of complication. And as for the type of stream I do where people come and go, that's just not practical.
Yeah, well, for conversations, definitely StreamYards is easier. I'm going to utilize both. I do like... OBS, you have a lot more options. You can do a lot more.
Right. So I think you said a lot of things you were kind of just trying to insert in there, like about my position. And like I think I've actually been pretty clear about my position in the past. So I mean, what do you need? Like, are you really just like that? Like having an issue with me referring to him as a brother? Is this just like where it's coming from?
That has been the issue from the start. So when you infer brotherhood, even if it's a Christian brotherhood, you're inferring that to your most extreme Christians in your movement. Matt Powell is an atrocious human being. I haven't ever heard you clarify what it is about what he says.
What would be your recommendation of what I'm supposed to do in regards to Matt Powell? What's your recommendation? What would make Ronnie happy? I
would do the thing that has integrity. So it's not about making me happy. It's about what kind of integrity.
You're the only one upset about this.
Oh,
you're the only one upset
about it. No, I'm not.
Who else is?
I mean,
anybody
that would be aware of it. I mean, S.J. Thomason came out and did the right thing. It is possible to be a Christian and come out and do the thing that has integrity. We're talking about
wait a minute. Matt Powell. What did she do? I missed it. What did SJ do?
She had a whole stream calling out Matt Powell and the atrocious things he says and how it's not Christian, how that doesn't represent Christianity.
Okay. I don't think that I am intending or should deal with Matt Powell in that regard or that way. So am I allowed to decide how I want to talk to and deal with my brother in Christ? Or do I have to listen to your recommendation and how you want it to be done?
No,
maybe I want to approach him. Just let me finish and I'll let you talk. I'm sorry. maybe I just want to approach him on my level with the way that supposedly consistently in my book I'm told to. Maybe I'm having some positive interactions with Matt Powell in ways that not many other Christians outside of his church have been able to. And I think maybe you might possibly be looking at that as some sort of like devious slight, that maybe there might be an opportunity that I could, I don't know, help improve his perspective, deepen some of the philosophy on the books. See, because like you guys kind of just both engage in the same level of argument. Like, and I think that's why you kind of found each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that very literalistic fundamentalist. Let's not put a lot of thought into it or worry about things like Greek or Hebrew or history or culture. Let's just read what the pages say and go off of it. And I feel like that's why you guys were kind of just into it with each other. So like my interaction with Matt Powell is going to be as a brother, an exhorter, you know, to basically give him my perspective. Now, there are people who have gone off the deep end in my perspective. I don't think Matt Powell is yet one of them. Now, and I've listened to your clip, and I've listened to some of your statements and some of your claims. I think you reach a little bit, personally. I think you want, I think you do. I think you kind of want to paint Matt Powell as the monster that you know Steven Anderson is. I think that might, well, yeah, because I don't think I've heard Matt Powell say anything close to what Steven Anderson has said. Would you disagree?
Yes.
Has Matt Powell ever said, if there was a button, I would slam it and make sure every single gay person on the planet died? Like, has he said that?
He has literally said, I asked him, I clarified, so you are for the government killing every single gay person on this planet?
No, and I clarified. Yes. Ronnie, you were there for the Math Pig chat where I actually clarified that because it was a direct question. So like you're just sitting here like pretending to be ignorant about my statement in the past. Why don't you go? I did. No, I did. Math Pig's in your chat. He can verify it. It was the first question I answered when I came. Well, no, it was the second question I answered when I came in the room after the evolution one. So yes, I did answer, and I did clarify.
I watched that stream, and I can tell you that I
don't
recall it.
Yeah. I get it. I know you don't recall a lot. I know you don't recall a lot.
I got a brain of a pickle. But so let me answer to you, because you're sitting here justifying Matt Powell and saying Matt Powell doesn't say the things that Matt Powell says. Anybody in this chat, anybody that's familiar with Matt Powell over the last 2 years, doesn't need me to tell them what Matt Powell says. They have seen Matt Powell say it show after show after show after show after show. Every time he goes on, he does not run away from this. Why do you think he is in Arizona sucking Steven Anderson's asshole? He is directly working with Steven Anderson now. So yes, he supports the things Steven Anderson says. Are you fucking dense?
Rage, I think you really do want to push hatred. I think pretty much no matter what.
I'm the bigot here. I'm fighting against bigotry. You're here in support. You are literally sitting here justifying and trying to play down the things that Matt Powell says, and you're just fucking wrong.
If I want to reach Matt Powell about his perspective in the faith, should I not do it the way I'm instructed specifically to do it in my worldview, or should I listen to yours?
Well, I mean, no, you are sitting here saying that you're trying to be consistent as a Christian. Well, why don't you be consistent? You go into the side chats and you call every atheist that you come across a trash clown, a degenerate fucking cockroach. Why won't you look at a person like Matt Powell that calls for the death of children to dash their heads against the stones if they fucking disobey their fucking parents?
Don't gish gallop. Okay, let's take
this
one
is
thing
all.
at a time.
These are the things that Matt Powell says.
Okay, let's take one thing at a time. I don't know about what is he talking about dashing children's heads on stone. What are you talking about? Like, whose children is he wanting to dash on stones?
The NIFB believe that they want to have a theocracy, and that Levitical law requires them to. All right, so Matt Powell won't go all the way to say he thinks that children should die. I am answering, so let me and shut the fuck up.
Just whose kids does he want to murder? Just tell me
any child that disobeys their parent. Matt Powell. So let me finish answering. Matt Powell won't go as far as Steven Anderson on this and call for their death. He'll imply it, but he says at the very least we should be putting children in prison for disobeying their children. Now, he's told me this to my face.
I haven't heard that. Yeah.
Well, no,
I don't know anything about that.
I mean, maybe you should actually go and find out about
I haven't
him.
had. Well, this is the thing, Rage. I haven't even really had a heart-to-heart conversation with him yet. You just keep wanting to get
you're
involved.
all up on his channel, and you're having wet dreams about how he's putting you on his channel.
Rage, the problem is you are so triggered. You are so
I'm not
hateful to
triggered.
Matt that anyone that Matt aligns with, you just have to hate.
Matt's an atrocious
you know
fucking
what?
human being,
Here's the
and
thing.
he should be called out, not embraced. And if you're the type of person that's going to embrace Matt Powell, that tells me why I have to stand in opposition of you. You're not a progressive Christian. You are a fundamentalist.
That's wow, dude. Really? Okay.
I mean, you're embracing the worst of
whatever
them.
you say,
You
Ronnie,
are
whatever you
embracing
say.
the worst
Okay.
of them. He's
Whatever
the
you say.
worst. He is Westboro Baptist Church, and you're just wrapping him in a bear hug.
And that's sad. Because again, that is more of your bigotry shining
He's
through. You
worse
cannot
than
keep
Westboro.
people- He's worse than Westboro.
The NIFB are spreading all over the world. The Westboro Baptist Church is a little family church that isn't spreading nowhere.
I don't know where you think the NIFB is spreading.
All over the world. All over the world.
Where all over? Dude, this is just an assertion.
No, it's
you have
not.
zero
This is
evidence to
fact.
support this.
This is
just
fact.
no.
I have covered
this
the
is-
NIFB for 2 years, so you're going to sit here and admit
Okay.
ignorance on the NIFB
What is your
and
evidence?
tell me that I'm fucking wrong?
What is your evidence
It's
for your assertion?
They are one of the fastest growing movements there is. They are
According to who?
They went to I believe it was the Bahamas. I get this country mixed up. They have been literally banned from countries because they were trying to spread into countries. Like
They're taking
39
over the
countries
world.
at this point. No,
They're
I didn't say
taking
they're
over the
taking
world
over the
from the
world. I
Bahamas.
said that they are growing, and in comparison to Westboro Baptist Church, that makes them worse.
Well, Ronnie, what do you think is the solution to that? Do you think it's a bunch of raging, idiotic vitriol calling the book stupid, or a bunch of Christians who are trying to actually align them back to a more sophisticated perspective of truth and
That
culture?
ain't going to happen. He doesn't consider you a Christian.
Well, okay. Well, no, just which do you think is the better pursuit? Which do you think is going to be more successful in the long run?
People like me shutting them down have had a lot more success than any Christian like you trying to approach him
And yet
with
you say
a
they're
version
growing.
of the Bible, with a version of the Bible that he won't
They're
accept.
growing.
Yes, they're growing.
growing.
I mean, laugh about it all you want. Laugh about it all you want. I mean, you're just making yourself look stupid.
What? No, dude, you just said I've been the most successful at it, and then you also say they're growing. So clearly you're not. Like, this is the issue that I have with your.
We have been successful here on YouTube, idiot.
Okay.
Do you not
we
understand
talk
that that's a
about-
different dynamic than churches opening up across the country and in other countries? Do you not
Can we
understand
talk
that that's a
about-
different dynamic?
Can we talk about consistency, please?
Sure, please do, because you're a pretty atrocious Christian and you're consistent about it.
Okay. Do you support free speech or not?
Yes, of course I do.
Okay. So does free speech, in your opinion, it doesn't mean consequence-free speech, right? Like, there should be consequences to speech.
Sure. Yes. If you are going to say things, we've had this conversation. You should pay the consequences for it.
So in one of those things that is over the line would be anything that might be regarded as a racial slur, or only one specific racial slur?
No, I mean, anything you say or do in this life has a consequence. Anything.
No, I get that, but and that's true, and I agree with you on that too. I've always held that there is no such thing as consequence-free speech. We do have free speech, but that doesn't mean consequence-free speech. So I've always held to that.
Well, really,
sure.
because we've had some arguments about that.
Well, yeah, but I this is why I want to discuss the consistency, because I'm not sure if you're actually noticing what my point even is. Like because you kind of like play that
I'm so
clip.
stupid, yo.
Well, you play that clip with the baseball bat, and I don't know why you specifically cut it off like 5 more seconds, like than you could have. That would have basically ended with the statement of, "This is how we show Ronnie's level of consistency."
Mm-hmm.
And this was me calling back.
I show it in both contexts, homeboy. I show that, and then I show the whole context with everybody talking. See that cut was just me, using your voice. Taking out everybody else's voice.
Do you think that that's appropriate, considering how much of a stink you've played about people playing you out of context? Supposedly, do you think that's hypocritical?
It's still taking you in context. It's
okay. Then I don't. Okay,
argument.
then I expect to never hear the context argument from you ever again, or I'm going to pull this up again.
You'll expect wrong, because I'm very consistent, and I stay within context. I reveal the whole context, and if something's edited like that, I reveal that it's edited like that. That's called consistency. That's called integrity.
Is that why you had to do 3 streams to cover the same interaction, to cover up, what you actually tried to cover up the first 2 times? Is that why that happened?
What did I try to cover up?
Well, you did a stream where you deleted the last bit of the interaction with Nephilim Free. Then you did another stream where you played more of it. And then you did another stream where you finally played all of it. So you literally reviewed the same interaction 3 times.
All right, so this has been explained
to you.
Can you
realize how desperate that is?
This has been explained to you. So when I did the first stream,
Does
I
that
said
look desperate to you?
Smokey, shut up. I said it in that stream, in that first stream. I am only covering this little interaction with Nephilim Free. I will cover the whole interaction later. Do you not understand that? Did you not watch that whole stream? Did you not see that part where I talked about that?
Thank you for having me on, Rage. I do appreciate it.
Are you going to answer the fucking question?
I don't know how to answer it because you're just kind of you're dodging everything about what I'm actually
you are
talking
being
about.
very stupid right now. I covered just the Nephilim Free interaction because I had never spoken to Nephilim Free. I said in that stream I will be covering the rest of this stream on this day, and I did that.
Okay, I'll go with you. So you did the first stream, and you were just going to cover that little Nephilim part. But then you did a Shannon Q stream, and you said in that stream, "See, Smokey, I'm not hiding anything now. See?"
Yeah, because you immediately started saying this stupid shit. All right, Smokey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that stream. I'm going to cut it out where I say I'm going to cover this whole stream that this is all in regards to them attacking Shannon Q, and I will be showing all of it. I'm going to cut that out for you because you're obviously so fucking stupid that you can't even listen and pay attention.
Is this it really going to defend doing 3 separate streams on the same interaction? Really, bro?
I did 2 streams on the same interaction, and then I did a stream about how you guys talk shit about me or something. What the fuck? I have fun with you.
Okay.
You are fun because you're a narcissistic little fucktard. That's what you are.
I know. We like your assertions. I know that's fun.
No, we enjoy your assertions as well.
So the consistency thing I was trying to get to with the free speech component is that I was trying to draw a correlation to your justification that some speech is able to be met with violence. And I was just hoping maybe if you hadn't kind of lost your cool that one night, I would have asked you what speech qualifies. Cool? Well, yeah, because you started, basically you took my example and you personalized it when all I was doing was trying to show that.
You're the one that personalized. You're the one that came with, all right, so I'm going to come to Battle Creek and hit you in the head with a baseball bat. You did that. I didn't do that.
Yeah, well, that was to explain something which clearly.
Yeah, so you personalized it. I didn't.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Will you let me finish so I can make my point? Or are you that desperate?
Oh, please go ahead, dude. This is hilarious.
Okay, so the point was that I was trying to drag out of you what speech qualified for violence. And that's what I was trying to get. So this is why I was asking you that question. Is it just the African-American racial slur? Is it any racial slur that would allow someone to go and beat the piss out of someone and crack their skull?
When did I say that violence is justified? I said that I'll laugh. I said I'll sit over you and be like, you got knocked the fuck out. I didn't say it was justified.
But that's what yeah. Here's our problem with consistency.
I've always said that every action has a consequence. So if that dude does violence against you for saying the N-word because you want to be a racist piece of shit, he's going to face the consequences for those actions.
Yeah, exactly. So those
that's my position. That's what I maintained.
And those consequences are up to and including getting the snot beat out of them. Now,
no, I'm talking about the person that does the beating the snot out of. They will face consequences for beating the snot out of you.
48% of violent crimes in 2018 went unsolved. So that's not even remotely true.
Yeah,
and in fact, actually, if you watch the video,
a lot of people are bitch made. They'll take an ass whooping and they won't go to the police.
Yeah, that's not how it works usually, Ron.
Well, usually for people that sucker punch people, no, but people that have integrity,
no, and that's most of the time. And that was my argument that's the normative behavior.
That's the normative. By the way, that's normative behavior for cowards like you, not for men, not for real men.
All of those instances you're talking about, where people are having emotional reactions to words being spoken, it is generally a sucker punch. And all you have to do is go look at all the public freakout videos. It's pretty much never a squaring up. It's someone has words and then someone just swings the blow and knocks them out. This is normative.
There's a lot of punk ass bitches now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's normative, and to you, that's okay.
That's normative to people that do that because they're bitches, and that's obviously normative to you.
Ronnie, follow me here. This is very simple.
I am.
To you, that is okay. To me, it is not.
No, it's
and
not
what
okay.
I was saying with the baseball bat analogy is that you are basically condoning based upon maybe someone takes something you said to that level. As if someone takes the level of offense to what you've said, the same way that one of those people you're justifying doing violence does. And then they say, okay, Ronnie,
said that.
You condoned this. You've basically said it's okay for a certain level of slur to be answered with violence. So I'm going to go commit violence.
I never said it's okay. No,
now,
I said I would laugh because you're stupid and you're a racist and you deserve it.
Yeah, I know. Yes, you enjoy it. I know. I get it. Yes,
yeah, I would enjoy it. I mean, I hope you call me so I can go and record it.
Dude, that is the whole point. This is why I don't understand why this can't land with you. Like,
I understand perfectly. You're the one that's not. I mean, see, you always do this, Smokey. You project this shit on other people. I understand you completely. You're the one that's not understanding my point. You're dismissing my point and trying to straw man me and to make me have a position I don't have.
Okay, let me rephrase that. If someone, you had said in that video that like you had at some point talked to some of your black friends with the N-word, that was a common thing for you. Okay.
Back in the day, I used to be a gangbanger. Yes.
Great.
Yes,
okay, great. Happened. So you had friends where it was appropriate to do that with. Now let's say
I didn't have friends. I had gangbanging homeboys. Like we had a system. They weren't my friends. I had soldiers and then I had superiors.
Okay. You had people that you were comfortable calling that word. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
okay,
it might not have even been them being comfortable. Like when you get a certain rank, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, this is not that important to the analogy, bro. Calm down.
Well, it is because you're using me as context for your analogy, and I need to clarify because you're a bitch and you don't understand what a real life is. What this life that we're talking about is.
Would you like to let me finish?
Oh,
please?
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's say a scenario had emerged where you were saying that word amongst the context of your friends. Maybe you were even saying it on the phone. And someone who doesn't know you would find offense to that you are somehow doing something of vulgarity to the level that you talk about. Is it wrong for them to come and treat you like a racist and beat the hell out of you for saying that word?
My position has always been action and consequence. So if they came to me and beat the shit out of me, yes, it's wrong.
Okay.
It's wrong. It's wrong if somebody does it to you in the context that you're a racist fuck and somebody does violent damage to you for just simply using a word. It's wrong, but it's reality. And if you're going to be that stupid fuck that is a racist, and then I'm going to laugh at you because that's reality and you should understand reality. That is my position.
But that was my point, that you weren't being racist in that context. Like you were just doing your thing, but they heard it. They assumed
it happens
racism.
All the time. People hear that, and they can't. And in their reality, they can take the context that I'm using a word that I shouldn't be, and they can be offended by that. That's why I stopped using the word even in those contexts. Because I have come to the understanding. I was wrong. I was wrong when I made that video using that word. Even though I wasn't using it in the context of being a racist, I was using it in the context of a racial discussion. I was wrong for using that word because I need to understand that people have feelings about that word. Yes, I'm answering your question.
I get it, but you answer the question, then you go. And you're just like, you're dancing over the actual point.
I'm not dancing. I'm being honest.
Let me put a bullseye on it then. Let me try real hard here. Okay. My problem is you adopting a worldview where it is okay, even to condone, even to yourself, the use of violence for something you said. Okay, this is all I was ever trying to point out with you.
You grew up a different life than me, Smokey. You have a different context. Well, I grew up in a life where we fought. I grew up in a life to where if you're a little bitch and you say something, it's going to lead into a fight. I grew up in a life where I was selling drugs and dealing with Mexican cartel members. Me and you have lived a very different life. You cannot understand mine. I can't understand you. I look at you. I hear the things you say. I see a little bitch-made dude I used to beat the shit out of. That's what I hear. Because we have lived different lives.
That's your problem, though, Ronnie. Like,
no,
and that's what I keep trying to.
I actually understand it.
If you are so emotionally unhinged that violence has become your answer. And by the way, I can get it when
not
I was
my
younger.
like. Do you not know?
When
me?
I was
You don't know
younger.
me at all, do you? I'm saying I have lived a different life than you. I used to be a violent person. I have not committed violence in 20 years. I gave up that life. It doesn't mean that I change and I see somebody being a little bitch that I'm just gonna be like, oh, don't treat the little racist badly. No, I'm gonna be like, you got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and I find that to be a problem. I find
Well,
that
that's
to be
your
disgusting.
fucking problem because you're a
I
little
think-
bitch. But how
I
did we
think
get here? Because I'm not
what
done asking you about Matt Powell. Like,
promote-
do you
Okay.
condone Matt Powell calling for the death and genocide of all gay people?
No.
All right, so tell him, why is that wrong for Matt Powell as a Christian to do that?
Well, I think that he has a perspective of the interpretation of the book that a lot of Christians have fallen into, which is it's the perspective you push. As like you say that this is what the book needs to say, this is what it needs to be.
I read it in context.
By the way,
of a
yeah, I
literal
know
book.
you actually help validate Matt Powell, and I'll explain why. Because you actually push that narrative,
pretty
Matt
desperate.
Powell. Well, no, I'll explain it to you. Just let me finish. You actually, from your perspective, push that narrative as the mainstream interpretation. See, like you point at people like me and others and say, well, they're just fake progressive Christians. They're just trying to fudge the book from what it actually says. And you look at the fundamentalists and say, well, they're the ones that actually get the book right. So like you've kind of picked your battle. You're not able to really even want to recognize.
You're completely strawmanning me. I don't do that.
It seems to be exactly what you're doing to me, Rage. And
they have a literal interpretation of the book. So most Christians. All right. So I always put this in context. Most Christians, Smokey, read the book literally. Think it's a literal historical.
No, they don't.
Bullshit. Most
Not
Christians
anymore.
do. Yeah, bullshit.
Not anymore.
Have you seen the numbers? All right. So you understand, like over 40% of America believe in young Earth creationism.
Yeah, that's not a majority.
That's 40% of America. That's a majority of Christians.
Okay. How much has that shrunk over the last 10 years?
Like 6 or 7% because
More
my demographic is growing because secularism is growing.
No, it shrunk by more like 20%. I'd have to go pull the actual stats, but no.
I will even give that to you. Maybe you're right. I haven't looked at the stats in a while.
And the reason that's happening is because that we have finally started to shrug off, and I've been pushing for this myself, shrug off a lot of the traditionalist, culturalist type of perspectives of Christianity that I think are poisoning the well. And also keeping us from fighting the right battles. Here's the thing, dude, and this is why
you think that you're not poisoning the well, Smokey.
No, I don't at all. In fact, I think I'm trying to help it. And by the way, that statistic I just told you is basically one of my evidences to that, is that we are trying to basically work with Christianity into a practical perspective of what the book actually says in its appropriate context. See, you want to ignore that and keep saying, nope, this is what the Christians believe. This is what the book says. Okay. Well, that's fine, but that's going to cover that tiny little sliver of that 40% you're talking about.
So when you call an atheist a degenerate cockroach, you're not poisoning the well.
It depends on the atheist. I don't call every atheist that, right?
Like I have seen you call atheist after atheist after atheist this shit now.
But
I mean,
you can't.
Anybody that disagrees with you.
No. I think I could actually prove you really blatantly wrong on that. I've had incredible interactions with Michael X, Paul Kamish, multiple atheists. I mean, the issue here's the problem, Knock. Like, I get to a point where I feel like I'm dealing with religiosity that's kind of like feigning itself as skepticism, and that starts to strike buttons with me. So at that point,
when you do it, that's not poisoning the well.
I don't think so. No, I think it's calling out I would feel negligent if I didn't call out someone being.
But you don't feel negligent for not calling out Matt Powell.
No, I don't, because he has no power, and nor does his church have any sway over such political power, nor will they ever. Because they are
atheists have power. We're the smallest demographic in this country, and we have power, but Matt Powell doesn't. I'm not mentioning you. No, I don't think you guys have much power at all. No, I don't think you guys. But you feel the need to call to poison the well.
No,
with us.
I actually think
you call us out for the cockroaches we are, but not Matt Powell.
I think atheism and the NIFB are pretty much both equally irrelevant ultimately to the. Yeah, Because I think what it is especially
We're
new
so
atheism.
irrelevant that you're here right now,
Well,
squirming
new
all over the
atheism.
place.
Well, exactly. Well, this is because this is part of my thing, dude. This is part of what I do.
Oh,
But
me too.
But
I followed
modern
you. I'm glad that you followed me finally.
modern atheism has kind of seemingly turned into this, kind of like death throes flailing that's only taking place in the online sphere. Like, it's something to be said that you guys can't seem to ever, really get into any type of, significant political office. It's that people don't. I mean, even statistically,
It is something to be said because this is still a country ran by fundamentalists. You can sit here and talk about how you guys are responsible for the shrinking of that, but it's still over 40%, Smokey, of the whole country. Which means a vast majority of Christians are still fundamentalist.
So you're saying the 40% are NIFB?
No, I'm saying the 40% believe in YEC. I didn't say NIFB. I said they believe in young Earth.
That's irrelevant.
That means it's relevant to the conversation we were having about how most Christians take the book literally. I read it literally, but I don't believe the book. I am simply referring to the way Christians read the book. I know.
You validate the NIFB by
pushing
I do not.
The mainstream I do what you're too afraid to do, and I call them the fuck out.
You push this as the mainstream interpretation.
I don't call them brothers.
This is how Christians are supposed to interpret it. You make it worse.
You are sitting here, coming on here, calling the NIFB brothers and telling me how I am making it worse.
Well, no, wait a minute. Okay,
Matt Powell is NIFB, Smokey.
I haven't. Yeah, I know, but I'm not a bigot like you. I actually have the ability to take people on a personal basis. So let me tell you this. Let me make it real. Let me make it real clear. Let me make it real clear. No, he isn't. And until you show me something that he said that is actually equivalent to Steven Anderson, we're gonna have a problem. But I will make it.
I'm still working on the flame graphics, Matt.
I don't think there was a person inside one of the NIFB churches, and you probably remember this. He was caught going around with whores. You remember that one?
Yeah. They also had a pedophile. Are you going to talk about the pedophile?
Well, sure, that one too. Okay, but did they stone them?
No, they're advocating for the government to do it. They want to instill theocracy, and there's a powerful evangelical fundamentalist lobby in Washington, D.C. trying to do that right now.
Okay, this is my point, dude. Is that even if you were to say the entire 40% are NIFB and they believe exactly like this, which we know is just completely asinine, but let's say it's true that 40% of the nation believes exactly as the NIFB believes, that's still not even a majority control for anything. And you know it's not. And you know it's not, dude. You know that's a stupid statement to say, like, well, there are 40% are fundamentalists, so, that's a problem.
No. All right, so shut up for a moment. The context is how I read the Bible. So the conversation is how I read the Bible and why I'm wrong for reading the Bible in a literal context, right? And
because you're making that the mainstream. You're saying this is how it should be read, bro.
Let me explain. So, in context of that conversation, Smokey, I know it's hard for you to follow along. In context of that conversation, I made a comment about how 40% of America still believes in young Earth, still believes that this Earth is only 6,000 years, which, in context of the conversation of reading the Bible literally, means that 40% of America is reading this Bible literally. It's context, Smokey. You have an issue staying in the topic. You want to take it back to the NIV. We are talking about the NIV, but that is a whole different element. That is you supporting the NIV, calling them brothers, not in regards to how I read the fucking Bible. You are trying to maintain. No, let me finish because I let you ramble on with that snake oil shit for long enough. You want to maintain that I am making the NIFB better or more powerful because I'm reading the Bible literally. No,
you are.
When
you're validating
the NIFB is just part of that 40% that already read the Bible fucking literally.
Hey, Ronnie, would you ever do a series?
Don't come here and put your inadequacies on me. I call these fuckers out because I'm not scared. You are a fucking coward.
I have a question. Would you ever do a series called "The Quran is Stupid"?
Oh, I talked about the Quran all the time. Why do you think we have apostate alliance?
No, I answered the question. No,
yes,
I
would.
Question.
I would.
Okay.
Yes.
I would love to see that.
Maybe when I'm done with your stupid Bible.
Yeah, in what, 50 years? Okay.
However long it takes.
Ronnie, okay. All right, you do that. Have
We
fun
do
with
it every Sunday when we bring in a
It's
hostage
you know,
to,
see,
to,
and I
to
wish,
talk
dude,
about leaving Islam.
I really wish you were smart enough to realize what you're actually.
Yeah, I'm the one that can't
like
stay up
seriously,
with the
like
conversation here.
I'm trying like to actually do something on my side that's positive, like trying to elevate
calling
some of
Matt
these
Powell brother
perspectives.
and then telling me, the person
Yes.
that stands in opposition to the NIV,
Okay, what should I
how
do?
I support them.
What
when
should I
you're
do?
the one literally supporting
You won't
them.
answer the question.
Be
What
a
should
good
I do then?
Christian. Call him the
And
fuck
do
out.
what?
Go have a conversation with Matt Powell and tell him how he's wrong about calling for the genocide of all gay people. And we'll see how that goes and if you guys have a brotherhood relationship after that.
I think, yeah, I'll reach out to him. I'll see if he wants to have a chat.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You should record it. It'll be funny.
I may or may not. It's going to depend on if he wants.
I've had this conversation with him. He does not. He does not consider you a Christian, Smokey.
Well, that's fine. And I know because he actually, I've noticed actually, I don't think he actually called me brother. But well, no, he did. He did once actually, and that's kind of the funny thing because like you knew he was like we called each other brother like before that promo video ever came out.
No, I don't think I.
Well, I found the clip. And now you're lying about it.
No, yeah, you're right because you had mentioned it. I called you out for it because you had mentioned it earlier. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah,
I called you. I called you out
thank
from
you
it.
Thank you for not lying.
Smokey,
thank you.
I called you out for it from the moment I heard it.
Good.
From the moment I heard
good.
it.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Yes, I agree. From the moment you heard it, you called me out. Then we had a chat, and it seemed to go pretty well. And we were establishing some new respect.
Video dropped.
And then the video dropped.
Yeah.
And then you had a problem, and you called me out for calling him brother. Well, you were
I've
fine.
I've also always had a problem with the way you talk to atheists, and
on.
I've been very honest about that.
Hold on. You were fine with developing some respect with me, some engagement during that conversation, knowing I had already called Matt Powell brother. But when that video dropped, you needed an excuse. You needed an excuse to come after me because you were so enraged that Matt Powell promoted me. That Matt Powell, your dire enemy,
had
promoted me.
Have you heard me talk about how I had to restrain myself in that conversation to get you to a place to where it could actually be a civil conversation? I restrained myself just because I can be civil with you in a conversation and still think you're a reprehensible piece of shit. And if you're going to come out and endorse a reprehensible piece of shit like Matt Powell, I'm going to call you out for it. If you're going to go into side chats and call atheists reprehensible cockroaches and fucking trash clowns, I'm gonna call you out for that because you're a piece of shit.
Okay. Why didn't you call me out then during the conversation if it's that important to you?
I gave you ground. All right, so you obviously don't understand. So let me tell you. All right, so
I really don't. Dude. You are a logical dumpster fire.
Yeah,
I really
idiot.
don't
You're a
understand.
Fucking idiot. So let me.
I'm the idiot. That's what it is. Yes. The guy who made the video that says "embrace your inner idiot." Yes, I'm the idiot. Yes,
you are
dude,
pretty fucking stupid. Stupid.
So,
your
judgment is
let me break it down to you. So I went into a room with you where you were talking mad shit about me leading up to that. I come into the room. I go out of my way not to lose my cool, not to become rage, to keep myself chill.
You did a good job.
Even though you're calling me Ronnie, you're still being disrespectful as fuck. But I did that to show you that we can have civil conversations and you don't have to come with these insults all the fucking time. You can actually have an argument because these insults and the laugh takes away from everything. I've often said that you're fairly fucking smart, but you take away from it by poisoning the well with your attacks on atheists.
Disagree. I think you see, here's the thing. I think if you liked me, Ronnie, I'd be doing something wrong.
I don't like you.
Yeah, exactly. And that means I'm doing something right. See, here's the thing. I know there's lots of apologists out there who are willing to get very, very chummy with the God haters and the moral degenerates. But I don't
want you to be chummy with me.
Well, good, because I'm not gonna be. But the point of the matter is, I would have an issue if you guys were suddenly like okay with me. Like I think I would feel I'm doing something wrong. Like I have to. Here's the thing: the Christians that come across me are, for the most part, and I'll admit it, there's some fundamentalists that hate me, and rightfully so, because I don't share their perspective. That's natural. Do I treat them as a brother? Or do I treat them as a degenerate God hater who's trying to attack the religion? Well, I have to use my discernment. Okay.
So did you just admit that you see us atheists, simply because we don't believe in your God and we speak out about it, that we are worse than people like Matt Powell?
In terms of your cancerous neglect for society and kind of really pushing us into a moral oblivion, yes. I don't think Matt Powell has. Here's the thing. I actually do think, and I do believe this, and I will go ahead and give this to you, to your credit. I actually do think atheism, in terms of positioning for any type of actual demonstration of power, is far more capable than what the NIFB could possibly push. I mean, and just as an example, by the way, look at that just horrendous disaster of that Ark Park. You know, I mean, look at that horrible, ridiculous. And by the way, in the Bible Belt, you'd think if there was anywhere that weird, bizarre structure would be able to survive, it would be there, but it's not. Why? Well, because people are starting to move away from that garbage. It's nonsensical. And by the way, I actually do thank the atheists for some of this. You guys have helped push the Christians to say, hey, Christians, maybe you're believing some stupid crap that's against natural revelation and what we've seen in science. So I've appreciated it, truthfully. I mean, in a lot of what the atheists have done, they've kind of improved Christians' perspectives by shaming them for believing stupid things about the book.
So let's clarify. So atheist and atheist, I'm mainly talking about, you know, my little demographic of atheists. So, you know, secular humanists that stand for the rights of human beings, that stand for equality, that stand for, you know, humanism, like all human has merits. We are worse. We are worse than Matt Powell.
It's like asking me, like, when did you stop beating your wife? Like, it's not about that. It's not about a worse scenario. Like, each one of you are a problem. Like this is like, I don't know why you can't get this, bro. Like, I'm not going to do it the way you want to do it with every atheist or every Christian. And, you know, I've been fine with some Christians. Here's the thing. The atheist that wants to talk, that wants to discuss my perspective, not attack it, they're going to get a whole different metric of respect because they've proven themselves respectable. That's the issue, bro. I'm not one of those people that just gives people, an automatic measure of absolute respect every time. Like, respect is supposed to be earned. You said yourself, dude.
So somebody that calls for the genocide of gay people, right? Like, leave out all the rest of the horrible things that the NIFB and Matt Powell says. Just that, the genocide of gay people, whether you agree with homosexuality or not, right? So, like, whether you agree with it or not.
I think, I wish you would go and listen to Quentin's stream I did with him on that, because it was very heart to heart on that topic, in fact. And really, I gave a very deep personal,
do you think that gay people have a place,
on that?
Kind of off topic, do you think gay people have a place in the church?
I would, no, absolutely not. No, that, and by the way, it would be cruel to do so, because basically you would be validating them
if a gay person,
contrary to Scripture.
If a gay person believes in Jesus Christ and wants to worship Jesus
Christ, 1
Christ,
Corinthians 6, 9, and 10. If we're not being honest with them, we're being negligent in the demonstration of the faith. We would have to tell them, Rage. We would have to tell them that they are in danger of losing their soul, because there's plenty of
you are a homophobe. You're not as bad as Matt Powell, but you're a homophobe.
How am I a phobe?
You other them. You are othering them. They can't be a part of your in-group.
It's just there's no place for them in the book. I mean, they can go to church. I mean, as long as they're not advertising.
I mean, if you're othering them and you're not allowing them in your in-group simply because they are gay, that's homophobia.
So because there is a standard for my belief system that says that this is something that if they hold on, that I should indulge them. I should indulge them that even though my book says they're going to hell, even though my belief system says that, I should ignore that.
Your book says most Christians that go to church are going to hell, but they still get to go to church.
Oh, true.
They still have a place inside your church.
Yeah, but we don't. Yeah, but that's because they're not doing a demonstration of something that's blatantly against Scripture. By the way, if someone does something blatantly against Scripture, whether they're gay or not, yes, they do tend to get excommunicated, and rightfully so, because that's the actual example from Scripture. You know, you don't. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. You validate a little bit of sin in the church, you cause everything to downfall. You know, you have to excise it once it appears.
So is it okay if they're part of your church so long as they don't act out on their same-sex attraction?
Well, there would be no way to tell if that was the case, Ronnie. Like, it's not like everyone has to take a questionnaire
if they're gay,
before they come in.
If they're gay in your book, they cannot be Christian.
Well, yes, Ronnie. It literally first. You want me to pull up the verse? Do you want me to pull up the verse? Do you want me to pull up the verse?
So do you not understand? All right, so
I'll pull up the verse.
You talk about Hebrew and Greek, and I don't pretend to read.
No, I could just read it straight in English.
I don't think that
the English
you can
is very
read.
Clear.
I don't think you can read the Hebrew or Greek, but I have heard interpretations.
The English is very clear.
I have heard interpretations from scholars, historical scholars, that say most of these passages in the book aren't really talking about gay people. They're talking about very specific instances, and they're more like talking about grandpa shouldn't be fucking with his granddaughter.
Okay.
These kind of situations here.
You go ahead and give me your interpretation of this. You want me to share my
personal interpretation when I read the Bible is that
you said you got
homophobic.
No, you said you got scholarly interpretation.
No,
so
I have heard some scholars say that.
Okay, give me. Okay,
I can't give it to you because I don't have the fucking information, Smokey. I am saying I have heard some scholars.
Oh, so you don't know? Okay, so you don't know a good reason. You're just saying it. Okay, that's fine. I won't.
It's like talking to a brick wall, ain't it?
Well, no, I just tend to have reasons for what
I'm
I believe.
saying. I'm saying I have heard this from actual
That's an
scholars.
argument from authority. Do you know what an argument from authority is?
God damn it! Shut the fuck up.
Do you know what an argument from authority is?
Yes, I know what will you let me finish the fucking thought?
Clearly not.
Will you let me finish the fucking thought? Because I'm trying to tell you, I have heard like you might be somewhat confused, but you're gonna sit here and pretend to be the fucking expert on Hebrew and Greek. Are you not? Do you read this shit, Smokey? Do you read Hebrew and Greek? Do you read Hebrew and Greek, Smokey?
I don't accept your argument.
Do you read ancient Hebrew, Smokey? No, you don't.
No, but I use the interlinear.
Who the fuck? Who are you?
Because I have a brain.
You're a fucking idiot.
I have a brain, and I'm able to actually use sources other than just English.
You
where
are
I can go to interlinear,
and
I can actually read scholarly.
Righteous indignation. You sit here and you pretend that you have all the answers when you yourself are a moron.
I have more than a 5th grade vocabulary, so I can actually handle a contemporary scholarly commentary on some of these passages. Now, if you want to make excuses for an argument from authority,
you understand it, but other people can't.
I don't accept arguments from authority. I think that's fallacious.
No, you only accept your own fallacious arguments.
I would rather look at the actual arguments of the authority and see whether there's any validity to them. That's how I tend to operate in my perspective. See, I don't just let other people do my thinking for me. I know atheists tend to do that. But see, just because someone said it.
Are you reading that Hebrew though?
I don't need to. It's very clear in English. Like and again, I will pull up the verse. It's very straightforward. You don't seem to want to see it, but it's very clear.
But real quick, here, let me refresh this. Yeah, go ahead and bring it up.
Okay. All right, let me get it back up here. 1 second.
I want to thank you, Saxy, for your donation. I'm trying to get to.
And I'll bounce out of here a little bit too, like in a few minutes. I mean, I'll let you get your last word or whatever for me to stick around. But I gotta get back to some editing and stuff. I got some errands to do. Okay, here's I gotta share my screen.
Thank you so much, Saxy Calzone. Yeah, and I'll have to look at StreamYard. The audience actually won't see it.
Are you going to review this one later, too?
I'll get there eventually. I don't have to review this one because this is right on the channel. I will be cutting it out on its own and making its own thing.
Why don't you just upload the conversations you have? Why do you always have to have commentary on like reviewing yourself? Why do you do that? I'm just curious.
Fair play. Because you Christians don't play fairly. The moment I do that, you'll hit me with a copyright strike. I'm not stupid.
Oh, dude, come on, bro. Like, I've let everyone...
Trust me, I
really
have had it happen. Yes. Christians are not... Yeah, Christians don't play fair.
So I've said it like 10 times on my streams. Like, and I'll say it again even right now. Like, guys, my channel is pretty much open range. There's some of these people out there like Sam Shamoon, Christian Prince, David Wood and stuff. Like, we don't care if you clip our stuff and put it on your channel and just play it. Like, we don't care. Like, we tell everyone to do that because we want our stuff to get out there.
You don't care until the moment that I piss you off enough to care, and then I get that copyright strike.
I don't think I've given you any reason. I don't think I've given you any reason.
No.
See, that's the thing, Rage. Why don't you why don't you stop being a bigot, and why don't you treat me like me? I've given you no, that's bigotry. I've given you no reason from my personal interaction with you for you to treat me that way or to assume that and now you have it on your stream, on record,
on your channel that says
matter.
it's fine for you to clip my stuff.
None of
and
that
you're
matters,
the one,
though. None of that matters, though, because
so my verbal affirmation that you can clip and use anything on my channel right now is not good enough.
Well, it might hold up, but like if you get a spur up,
wow,
if
dude.
you
okay, whatever.
You
okay, whatever.
You haven't done this YouTube thing long enough.
Whatever.
If you get a spur up your ass, and I start using videos that
okay,
aren't
dude. Yeah,
in the
believe whatever
context
you
of
want.
fair
Okay,
use. Yes, you can come and give me a copyright strike.
Okay, yeah, dude, whatever.
But
okay,
you know,
dude.
like I don't know. You have given me permission. Maybe I'll start doing that moving forward. Maybe I'll show you a level of trust.
Wouldn't I? Okay, let me ask you something, because that's so stupid, bro. Because couldn't you do the same thing for me then? Wouldn't I just end up starting a war where you could start like copyright flagging me and instigate your trolls to start flagging me, and then we just have a flag war? Isn't that a stupid way to go about things? Can't we just like not do that?
So I guess now, like since you've actually been on the channel now, you could take this and do it, and then we kind of would have that one up on each other now. But like up until this point, the only thing I've ever really seen you do was within fair use. You're commenting on my videos or whatever. But now I don't know. You have said it publicly now, so maybe now moving forward, I can feel free to just share it.
Here's another, yeah, you can. And by the way, too, because you're on my channel, like you're the one interacting, like you're in the room, how could it possibly be copyright claim? Like you're there.
John says like the same thing, but I'm paranoid, and I do admit I have a paranoia because I have dealt with some fucked up Christians. But you know, I'll give you that. And from here on out, you know, I might still comment a little bit, but I'll you know, because it does break up the flow.
But I'm just saying, if that's your reason, if that's your only reason, dude, stop treating me like everyone else. Treat me like what I've actually displayed. Okay, I have never done anything. Like, dude, like I actually pulled a screenshot. I pulled a screenshot because Peterson last night said I blocked him. I went to my channel and pulled up the screenshot. I'll pull it up right now for you if you want. I have 0 people blocked on my channel right now. Absolutely 0.
I just realized I was like showing my tip screen. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
So
real
quick,
don't do that.
Real quick. Saxy Calzone donated, and he says Smokey's dad should have opted for a BJ.
Okay.
But now
I'll level with him. My dad was a real genuine low life sack of crap. He lived a horrible life, and my mother and me had to run away from him. He was a very bad person for sure. Yeah. So
I'm sorry to hear that. I don't
lots
wish
of
that
tragedy.
On nobody.
Lots and lots of tragedy inside that story, unfortunately. But I don't mean to flash that out there. I'm just
I have sympathy for that. There's a lot of low life dads, and me being a dad, I have absolutely no sympathy for any fucking bitch.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. I mean, not to throw anything like hyper specific out there, but he pretty much any substance under the sun he could get his hands on, he was on it. Like it was really bad. Like it was, and I was young too. This is like when I was, from when I was 2 years old up until when I was 6 or 7. He was just this mess. It was just horrible. Yeah, it's awful, and that breaks my heart too, because I know there's a lot of that out there. It's sad.
Yeah, and I'm sad to hear that, and I'm glad that you got away from it, and you and your mom got away from it. So I give you props for that. That does show an element of strength. That is a harder lifestyle than a lot of people come up with.
Almost didn't. My mom even tells a story. She thinks an angel saved us from him actually driving us off the side of the cliff, because he tried to take us off on the edge where the guardrail supposedly wasn't actually there, and supposedly they hit something even though the guardrail wasn't there. She tells that story to this day.
Yeah, I hate stories about low life dads. Me being a dad, I could never do something like that to my child.
Right.
I could never do something like that to any. Like, I don't care how bad we're fighting.
So you guys got that. You can always try to hold that over my head if you want, I guess.
I would never hold that over your head.
Well, I appreciate that. At least you have standards. I appreciate that.
Well, no, I appreciate you coming on, and I'm sorry that it got a little heated.
I'm not, dude. This is what they want. This is what they want.
I wish I would have had my dumpster fire graphic ready. I'm working on it, guys. But
speaking of which,
transparent is
speaking of which, I do recommend, if anyone wants to see the dumpster fire to end all dumpster fire debates again being premiered on my channel, I'm probably going to do it later this afternoon. This was the did you see it, Knock?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I will give you. Yes. It was a glorious stream. Probably one of the
best.
Was
it not?
Entertaining streams I've seen in a very long time.
Would it probably? I think it's got to be one of the funniest debates, if not the funniest debate that James has ever hosted. I think it really takes the cake. So I was proud of that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
At some level, I have to be a little bit of an entertainer too, because I don't want any of us taking this ever way too seriously to where like then we're going to start getting violent and stuff. You know, we need to be able to laugh here and there too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. We'll have our back and forth. And for some reason, I'm not seeing.
I enjoyed this. And I actually do appreciate you having me on. Like, so, I mean, seriously, I know it's all good, man. But see, like, dude, stop calling me a coward. Come on, bro. Like, I come in here, I'm in your room one-on-one. I know, bro, but
seriously.
Yeah, but you kind of said it again today. Today. Come on, man. I mean, I'm in your room.
Now you're here. Now that's
okay.
All illusions of your cowardice are gone.
All right. Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's fair. All right. Okay.
But I mean, a lot of times, so I do try to like be honest when I'm just talking shit, and I try to be honest here. So like, I'm just talking shit. I don't really think you're a coward.
All right. Well, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
I do just talk shit sometimes. So like, I will tell you, hey, I'm just talking smack here.
Here's the deal, bro. Here's the deal, and here's the thing too. I don't think like if you think that I would have the impression that like NIFB or even fundamentalist is something that should be a mainstream, you've clearly gotten me all wrong. And I think what I would ask you to do is just for a moment, just take a step back and take a look at the big picture and see maybe Smokey is trying to do this a little bit of a different way than a lot of the other Christians and a lot of the other atheists behind him. Because let's face it, dude. Seriously, has anyone outside of Matt Powell's circle, has anyone been able to like interact with him the way that I have? Like, come on, at least give me that. Like, I'm not friendly.
Really sure. I don't know how your interactions are going.
Well, you know as well as I do that if there's someone outside of his church, he pretty much is almost obligated to think they're not saved. So you were right when you said, and I probably believe this is true, he very well may not believe I'm actually saved.
Oh,
because
yeah,
that's part of his,
doesn't. Especially because he's going to watch this and he's going to see where you have some disagreements.
So, well, that's fine. That's fine. And that's fine. And he's entitled to that. I would like to have a conversation with him about it, but it's not about wanting to just go at him, because I don't think that's the way to do it either. And here's the thing. I need to be able, here's the thing, Ronnie, knock. If you want to have that type of atmosphere of the respect of being able to have your beliefs respected, you do need to understand you have to find a way to offer it on the other aisle. And see, that's where I kind of get that way with you, because I feel like you might be sometimes abandoning that. And what I want is to, if there's a way to reach Matt Powell, to actually reach him, not just do what everyone else has been doing, for 5-6 years, thinking that, well, if we do it at the 80th time, it's going to work. Like, dude, I've entered into this sphere doing a lot of things different. Would you agree?
Well, I think you do things differently, but my counter argument to what you're saying about Matt Powell is I don't think that Christians coddling him or trying to justify some of the things, or saying that, because, I mean, there's going to be issues from this stream here. You really need to familiarize yourself with Matt Powell, because you're trying to like distance him away from Steven Anderson. It isn't going to work for you. But I don't think it will help Matt Powell. What I think will help Matt Powell is for Christians to say, no, that's not right, and to get as far away from him as possible. That will tell Matt that, hey, I am only reaching a very small, extreme demographic. And Matt's the type of person, he's not going to care about Jesus or what Jesus thinks. Matt's the type of person that only cares about his future. And if he thinks that it's not good for his future, he will leave the NIFB.
Well, that's pretty much exactly my point. Like, you know what? Here's the thing. You think Matt Powell really pays attention to what any of you guys actually say? I
think he pays attention to everything we say, because he spends 8 to 10 hours per video slicing that shit up and making it what it's not.
Okay, but it hasn't clearly gotten you anywhere, right? I mean, he's still the same guy, and he still kind of believes that.
He's definitely he's worse now than when we first started talking.
I don't know that, dude, because again, and this is the thing, you're almost kind of like torpedoing. Like, I don't know if you get this, bro, but please, for the love of God, try to follow me here.
He's literally worse now than when we first started. His positions have gotten more extreme.
Okay, dude, because you are just so this way with him, and I hope you can see this, you are actually potentially torpedoing my opportunity to actually have a reasonable, series of dialogues with him. Like, do you realize this? Like, you actually might be going contrary to what you actually want.
So because me and Matt Powell has had a feud for 2 years, you think that discourse is going to sabotage any of the negotiations you might have had for a month or two?
I think I think
you are being very naive right here.
Let me clarify. You just strawmanned me. I think you pushing the necessity to push that narrative of me having to, I don't know, do whatever it is you think I'm supposed to do with Matt Powell and your worldview or your advice, or I don't know what it is exactly.
No, you do what you want to do. My reactions will be determined accordingly. Like whatever you do, you call him a brother, I'm going to react to that. You know, you come in here and try to distance him away from Stephen Anderson, I'm going to react to that.
To me, he is. And this is what you didn't let me kind of finish saying earlier. Matt Powell does not see me as a brother. Okay. We already established that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now he said it a couple times, probably maybe even just an error or something because he's used to it. But at other times I've seen him basically just refer to me as friend, you know, or something like that. And I figure, well, yeah, that's probably appropriate
that's
for his church.
Uses, yeah.
Now I didn't throw a fit and you'll be like, how dare you not address me the same way? What type of crazy heretic are you? Like, I'm not going to operate that way with him because he's given me no reason to operate with him that way. Like this is what I don't like. I need you to understand, bro. I'm going to operate the way that people give me the unction to operate with. Like, I'm not going to go like, just like with Godless Girl. I've had great interactions with Godless Girl. And because I didn't treat her like I already knew her reputation. Okay. I went in with what she was displaying to me. And dude, I've done the same thing with you. I've gone in on with exactly what you've displayed to me, and with Michael X and with Paul Kamish, all these guys. Everyone gets the interaction that I believe they've deserved. Now, maybe I'll get it wrong sometimes. That's fine. I'm bound to. I'm human. I'm fleshly. I'm still struggling with my flesh as a Christian. I know this. But that's not going to change my methodology.
So how is that different from me giving the Bible the reaction I think it deserves?
Well, that's what I was explaining to you. Because you are pushing the mainstream idea that this is how it's read.
No, I'm ridiculing it. I'm not pushing it. I am literally ridiculing it.
I know, but you're only ridiculing this very, very base level interpretation of it.
I'm ridiculing a literal interpretation, right? So right now, you've only heard me read. You've only heard me read the first chapters. We're talking about young Earth in Genesis. We're talking literal versus not literal, right? I am reading it and making fun of the literal interpretation.
Yes, I know.
Yes, I'm not promoting it. I am making fun of the literal interpretation, which we established still a majority of Christians believe.
Not a majority.
Yeah, no,
about 40% is, how is 40% a majority of anything?
So you are not understanding this. 40% of the country is a majority of Christians. Right? If you're 40% of the entire country, all the demographics, all the other religions, right? All the atheists, all the agnostics, if you're 40% of that, and it's higher than 40%, it's more like 44, 48%. If you're 40% of that demographic, that is the majority of Christianity.
But that's not what you said earlier.
That's exactly what I said. You just don't hear it.
I thought you said 40% of Christians.
No, 40% of the country. The country believes in young Earth. That's all demographics. Now, part of that would be, because I do believe some Muslims believe in young Earth. In fact, most Muslims. I'm not sure about American Muslims, but let's say some of that is part of that. You still have all the demographics. That's a majority of Christianity in this country that believes, that takes this part of the Bible, at least, very literally. That's my point. That's what I've been trying to tell you for a month now.
All right. Yeah, I see where it says a Gallup poll reported the percentage of people in the U.S., total people, who believe in a strict interpretation of creationism.
Yes.
Just creationism.
This part of the Bible that I've been covering so far. Yes.
Right. Has fallen to 40%. Well, and by the way, that doesn't speak to everything else then, right?
No, I will, as I get through it, I'll be reading the Bible differently depending on what part I'm in, right? Because there's going to be some parts of the Bible that are going to be very historic. I've been trying to explain to you and you just haven't heard. Like, I am reading this part of the Bible very literally because Christians do. I don't believe in any of it.
I don't.
No, you. But then I try not to broad brush, and I try to talk about those Christians that don't. And I often say, Smokey, that those type of Christians are the future of Christianity. You know, I try to be as very clear about it as I can be.
Well, I just, I don't like things like, and I'll go out on the record and say it, I don't like Ken Ham's ministry. I don't like the big stupid boat.
Yeah,
I don't.
And that's who I'm talking to. You know,
I don't like the interpretation of that, because I think they really are trying to force a very modern, and I will say modern. This is the idea of a 6,000-year-old Earth is a very new convention. The people short of a couple hundred years ago didn't hold to this.
Yeah, it's and it's come back again. Like there's a book in the '60s that made it really popular here in America.
Yeah. It was about trying to shoehorn our lack of knowledge in some scientific fields as a justification for it. And by the way, even back then I struggled with it. I mean, I was part of a very, very tiny kind of questioning young Earth circle, back in the 1990s, but I knew that this stuff was not adding up. And I was looking for, well, why did they choose these words if this isn't adding up? That was actually the first question I asked. Like, why the hell did the ancient Jews, like, were they stupid? Why did they choose this word? Like, why did they make it sound like this? And I really had to do some studying before I could figure out, what they were probably trying to actually say, dude. So I have an issue with people like Ken Ham as much as I would with you, because I'm sick of this literalistic fundamentalist garbage that keeps being put out there like it's some sort of mainstream interpretation. I don't like it.
I do it, Smokey. That's why I do it. It's not even, it's because the literal interpretation is stupid. So that's why the Bible is stupid. The literal interpretation is stupid. I am combating against that. We're on the same side of this battle. You just haven't been able to understand my position because you think that I'm literally taking this Bible literally, but I'm an atheist. I don't believe in it. I definitely, I grant that there are historical aspects. Like I don't think that the Bible is historical. You probably do because you're a Christian, right?
Well, but I don't know how you can
agreement
come to
that this part isn't. This part isn't historical.
How would you come to that conclusion? What are you using to base that off of?
What conclusion?
Well, that none of it, or like, I mean, what part of it is history and what part of it isn't to you?
Well, to me, so I maintain that the Holy Bible is fiction. And like any good fiction, all of it. And like any good fiction, you will incorporate reality into it. So Stephen King can write about a real town and the real history of the town and the real landmarks and things that really happened in that town, and his fiction is still a fiction, right? So there can be historical parts of the Bible, when it's talking about what the Israelites did and waged war on the nations around them. That's historical. That really happened. The part that's fiction is God giving them the orders, in my opinion, right? So like that, this is just my opinion. But this is what makes me an atheist, is I have come to the conclusion that this book was and has always been fiction.
Well, okay, so would you say that you would believe any part of the book that was corroborated by secondary historical sources?
I would believe the parts that are historical, but I wouldn't believe the magical mumbo jumbo around them.
I mean, like if there was an occurrence recorded in the book that maybe you found to be like unlikely or something, but it was corroborated in an account from a different culture, a different place that said they saw the same thing or experienced the same thing or recorded the same thing, would that be good evidence for you or irrelevant?
I'm assuming like you're referring to the Tower of Babel, and I've never been an
No,
atheist.
okay, no, we can do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's use this as the example.
We can use that. That's fine.
I personally don't think that the Tower of Babel existed, but I understand that there are other sources that refer to this Tower of Babel.
Right.
So yes, I'm not an atheist that's going to sit here and have a firm opinion on the Tower of Babel. I let other people make it, and I might not combat them, but I this is like one of those answers that I often give. I wasn't there. I can't possibly know the truth of this, so I'm going to be like 50-50 on this.
Right, exactly. And that's, I guess, where I would look at this for a sense of realism, which I'm not sure if we're grounded in terms of like what would be the standard to be able to even know that any of this is history, like as the Tower of Babel or Noah's flood, just as quick examples. Those events are recorded very concurrently with very similar details. Not only the Epic of Gilgamesh, of course, from Babylonian tales, which certainly came from somewhere, but also the actual tales in China. And China's unique in that they're basically the only other culture aside from the Jews that's had about 4,500 years of unbroken cultural history. So they have records of these events like the Tower of Babel and Noah's Ark. And that's the reason I say this, is because as I understand it, and I think you could even ask Dr. Josh this, I think he would agree with me, is that the standard of discerning whether or not something is historically accurate from a narrative is whether or not you have a corroborating source. So like for an example, this is one of the things I really got. Yes, but I can
almost guarantee you that Dr. Josh does not think that the Tower of Babel is historic or
I know.
or Noah's Ark. I'm not trying to because maybe he does, but that would
well,
be
I don't know. I don't know,
guess.
But I'll give you an example of something I called him out on that I kind of called garbage scholarship, just so people don't know. I don't want anyone to think I'm just going at him ad hom.
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta watch that stream. I haven't seen it yet.
I'll just give you a real quick breakdown. I know it's a long one, dude. And by the way, spare yourself. It was a mess. Like I was still new at it and stuff. I was kind of all over.
I might not even cover. I might give you a slide. If moving forward, I don't expect you to like Dr. Josh. Just show the man some respect. That's my
well. Here's why I can't respect him, and I'm just going to give you a good example because I don't think what he's engaging in is actual scholarship. But I'll just give you a quick example when he did his video about the prophecy of Tyr, and what he said is there's no reason to believe the Jews besieged the city for 13 years because we have all these other examples from other times in history that Tyr was conquered very, very quickly and easily. So this is likely a fallacy in the narrative. But the problem is, I don't think Dr. Josh actually checked his cross-references because there is actually a record from Josephus, who got records from the Phoenicians, who also recorded that it was a 13-year siege from Nebuchadnezzar. So what you have is two different external sources that didn't interact with each other that paint the same picture of the same narrative. So that in the realm of historical scholarship is considered to be a definitive occurrence. Like if you find two external, not connected sources to each other that corroborate, then you probably have something there that's historically accurate.
All right, so that would be a whole.
And by the way, feel free to ask him that.
Well, and I will. I'll reach out to Dr. Well, I don't even really know his position on tiers. So I haven't seen any of the things that you're talking about.
Feel free to clip what I just said in this stream and say, "Hey, Dr. Josh, can you respond?"
I will.
Because I actually would love to hear his answer.
I do know, Christians try to go out of their way to apologize for the fact that Tyr is still here. That prophecy was not fulfilled. So even if the Jerusalems did surround the city, even if they did destroy the city in that moment, that city was rebuilt, and the actual prophecy of the Bible was not fulfilled because the prophecy of the Bible was we wouldn't even remember the city Tyr now. These years later, but we do. We do know. We do remember them. You just spoke about them because
you're missing a source. You're missing a source. There was a Jewish traveler named Benjamin, and he traveled. I forget the time. I'll pull up the reference, but he traveled all over the ancient world.
So they're not forgotten.
And he wrote about how he had actually walked by the city of Tyr, and he commented from there. And see, this is the problem. See, we wouldn't, based upon this level of time, we wouldn't know exactly where Old Tyr is. We wouldn't be able to. So what we do is we see Benjamin writing about Old Tyr.
But the prophecy
Benjamin,
is
let me
that
finish.
They would be forgotten in history, and they haven't been.
They were. No, they were. Their culture is dead. Yeah, their
culture's dead, but we still talk about them. We have not
well,
forgotten.
That's not part of the prophecy. That's not part of the prophecy.
It is part.
No.
They would be forgotten. Yes, it is.
No. You're thinking of the wrong one. You're thinking of the wrong one.
We'll have this discussion later because I don't have it right in front of me, but this isn't something that
I know you're wrong because I did a whole.
I know that there's a whole lot of apologetics on this. Because this prophecy hasn't
just let me finish my point. Let me finish my point, and then you can respond.
I missed something there. That's probably all right. Go ahead. Sorry.
Benjamin is this Jewish traveler, and he was going around, and he passed by Tyr, and he makes a record of it, and he says in his statement, you can see the wreckage of old Tyr laying under the sea with its stones thrown out under the waves, and you actually have the fulfillment of the prophecy of the fishermen tossing their nets over the old ruins of Tyr. Everything inside that prophecy came exactly to pass. The separation We'll have to discuss it a whole time. In fact, I'm happy to have a whole stream just discussing that alone if you want. The prophecy of Tyr, because I did a lot of research to figure that out from Dr. Josh's perspective. So I'm happy to discuss that anytime. I probably should go, but why don't you go ahead and give your final word thing? I'll stick around for that, and then I'll bid you adieu.
Well, I want to go back and watch this. I do appreciate you coming in and talking, and yeah, you definitely destroyed the myth of I'm not even gonna be able to talk shit and call you a coward anymore. So I do appreciate you coming in here and having this conversation. Sure. I'm
gonna hold you to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and look and see how I feel about everything. But yeah, I want to thank you for coming in, and sure, I'm sure we'll talk again soon. I don't always just come into your shit. Like sometimes I do just come into your shit trying to be nice, and I don't think it always has to be like a back and forth animosity, but the animosity is definitely a good thing.
I don't care. I don't care how you want to enter, dude. Like, I mean, and I don't care about anyone either. Like, dude, this is the thing. I mean, my stream is a freaking open mic, like, since I started doing this crap. Yeah. Like, I mean, anyone can come in anytime and give their spiel. I've never shut down anyone. And like, dude, I have the screenshot if you want me to pull it up. I literally have 0 people blocked on my channel right now. Like, and I struggle to do that. The only people I've ever blocked has been sock accounts. And no, well, not even you.
Well, no, I'm saying you have. I've got like 3 or 4 people blocked.
But maybe Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones is because he just comes in and just screams vulgarity. But that's the only one. And by the way, after a week or so, I unblock him because he usually forgets about me anyway. So like, I mean, I'm not about having anyone blocked on my channel. That's been my thing from like day one. I don't appreciate John like kind of making those assertions about. He doesn't have any evidence for anything that he said about me at all. He just wants to believe that, and he just wants to talk crap. And I just, if you guys are going to talk about having like upper level exchanges, like, and you're going to engage in that garbage, like, you're kind of being a little hypocritical in my opinion. Like, John, if he's just going to talk crap for the sake of talking crap, why should I respect him? Like, I mean, come on.
John don't like you at all.
Well, clearly. Well, I don't like him because that's what he does. I don't.
No, so the difference between me and John, here, let me fix this thing because I got you like way too big. But the difference between me and John is John is kind of like, he's been doing the streams for a long time, but John hasn't had a channel like I have, like to where my channel has grown. I've gotten all the comments. I've heard it all at this point, right? So like, like even today, like when I raged out on you, I wasn't really mad because like I'm just so used to all of this shit, like it bounces off of me. To where John, it doesn't. It kind of sticks to him, and that's just something like the longer he does this, he'll develop that thicker skin. And John is his own person, so like to where I've always been more. I want the conversations. I want to hear your perspective. Like my goal here isn't to troll you. My goal is to figure you out and figure out what makes you tick.
Could have fooled me.
So I mean, part of that is trolling you and trying to trigger you and see like what does it? What puts Smokey there? What puts me there? Like these are the things that I'm really interested in. And with John is really interested in conversations. And John is a stickler for fallacy. So if he thinks that you're being fallacious, then that's where you're going to have issues. And
by the way,
he thinks you're like a walking fallacy. So.
I am totally clipping that wonderful thing he did yesterday where he got the straw man wrong and he basically called it an argument evasion fallacy. But when he described it, I'm totally clipping that and working on that video today. That was hilarious.
Well, I'd like to see a back and forth with you and John on these things. John knows more about fallacies than I do, but he admits that he's still.
Well, clearly not.
I think that you.
It's fine. Watch the video. Watch the video.
I think that you might have a misunderstanding of some of these fallacies myself.
Watch the video. I hope you guys will respond to it. I will look forward to it.
Well, I'll make sure he knows as well. So
okay, sounds good.
That'll be
sounds good. All right, man. I'm gonna take off then. Enjoy the rest of your stream or whatever you're doing. I'll talk to you later.
Oh yes, I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, man. Later.
All right, bye. All right, so. Wow. Oh, I didn't get a chance to. I was going to read it before he left. I'm sorry. Let me get this. I will read it, and I will answer you, Will. I meant to do it before he left. Let me get this out of here, though. Remove that shit. All right. So, Will Kincaid, thank you for your $5 tip. He says, "Hey, Knock, would you be Godless Girl's debate partner on the Sanctity of Life 9/11 debate against me and Smokey?" Ooh, that's a tough one, Will. That's a tough one. I'm not sure. Let me think about that. On the Saint, I'd have to know what it depends on my position. DM me and clarify what this debate is about, what your and Smokey's position is, and what mine and Godless Girl's position is. I have had some. I know Godless Girl just a little bit. I'm not afraid to be on her team or to be in a debate against her. But it would really depend on the positions, I think. Really depend on the positions. All right, so this stream did not turn out to be. Well, it turned out to be what I was hoping it would be. I was hoping Smokey would come in. I really need to go back and process everything that he said. I think that there was some really bad parts in there, and I think we somehow managed to end it somewhat positively, which is always a good thing. I don't want the interactions to always be toxic, and I always want to try to be fair and not just be blinded by bias. Oh, I don't like Smokey don't like me, so I'm just going to go at him because of that. If he has good positions, I want to be able to acknowledge them. But I think that we're still going to have some very serious issues with his approach to Matt Powell. Now, if he's being genuine about the approach and his genuine desire is, oh, maybe I can change Matt Powell if I'm this, then I think I'm okay with that. But when you justify or try to distance Matt Powell from Steven Anderson, who Matt Powell has went out of his way the last year to latch himself to Steven Anderson's ass, then we have a huge problem. So I'm going to have to go through and really look at this interaction and see how I feel about it. But we didn't get to the climate change. And spoiler alert, Smokey Saint denies the climate science. We're going to have a debate on it. We're going to set it up. I told him I'd do it on SFD's channel. So that's like 2 debates now, because we're going to have a modern day debate on ancient Israel. I got to set that up with James still. I've been procrastinating. And now me and Smokey will have a debate on climate change. And I'll be reaching out to Mama Atheist to try to update my shit. But we didn't get there today. And so I'm going to do that tomorrow. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. We got the Women of Atheism in just about 4 hours starting. So I'm going to get off of here. So I will cover the rest of that conversation with Smokey, and I'll try not to really, you guys heard it. I will try to let it play and not interject too much, and we will cover that conversation, and you can see Smokey Saint's position on climate change. That'll be tomorrow. Got to process this. It was actually a pretty well-controlled dumpster fire. I think so, too. I had one moment where I was getting out of control, but I recognized it, and I was able to calm myself down. It's a new rage, y'all. That wouldn't have happened back in the day. I'd have just been like, oh, fuck you, get out of my room. And and so I'm growing, and, this thing is going to continue. We're going to have disagreements. Me and Smokey's going to be at each other's throats. Even coming in today, he thinks that I don't understand his arguments when he's the one not understanding mine. And that's going to be a huge issue moving forward, but hopefully we can both come and find some middle ground and every once in a while have it end like that. I mean, it doesn't always have to be negative. I think that he's a douche. I told him I think he's a douche, but at the same time, there can be a level of respect. He probably thinks that I'm a douche. That's the way it goes. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I do want to give him props for coming in here. It's the first time that he's actually came in here, and he did it, so I got to give him props. So I want to thank those that donated and tipped. I'm going to be rolling this thing out. I'm going to try to get better. I want to have super chats again. I want to get monetized again. Not for any money, just for algorithm. And so you guys can have that highlighted comment in the chat, because a lot of people have wanted that to come back. Not sure if it'll ever happen. And in order for it to actually happen, I have to go back and take all of my old Matt Powell videos off the channel. All of my NIFB videos, anything that I'm covering hate speech, Misha Popoff, all of those channels would have to go onto my other channel to where I would archive them in order to have a chance at remonetizing this channel. That's going to take a lot of work, and I'm going to start doing it. The Matt Powell's things are going to start to be moved. It's going to take me a few months, and then hopefully, we can fix this monetized thing, and I can get back with the algorithm really helping me out as much as it can, but it's been brutal. So I'm trying to do a lot of different things. Again, I'll be rolling out buy me a book. we ran a test run, buy me a blunt, but I'm gonna change it into actual buy me a book to where I'm gonna have a list of books that I want to read, and if you guys want to donate to that, and I have to go and buy that book and read that book and talk about that book with you guys. I think that's a very good idea, and I want to start reading some more. So, and then if you have a suggestion for book ideas, send them out to me. So I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the dumpster fire. I was trying to have my dumpster fire graphic ready just in case Smokey showed up today, and I didn't quite get it there. It's almost where I want it to be, but it's not quite there yet. I wish I would have had it, but I think you're right, Craig. I think it was a well-controlled dumpster fire. I really do think. I mean, we had our moments, but then we were able to bring it. Both of us were able to bring it back down. So yeah, interesting. I'm gonna go back and check it out, see what he had to say. Really interested in all the things you guys had to say. And I guess so invested in the conversation that I missed it. So hopefully in a day or two, or actually not because I have it on my chat, I can actually read the chat when I watch it. So I will try to see what you guys are saying, what you guys thought about this conversation. And if you want to make sure I see what you think about this conversation today, come back in and leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm really interested in hearing your guys' take on this conversation. I'm still not quite satisfied with the whole Matt Powell thing. I don't think he quite gets my position here or understands why people might have some issues with this. But I think we have a better understanding of it. So I think we're getting somewhere in regards to that. So, want to thank you guys. Shit, did I miss the climate change? No, Mama Atheist, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I will do that tomorrow at around noon instead of today. And I will reach out to you after that stream and try to, because I got to pull out all my information and find out what I need to update. And yeah, maybe you can point me in the direction of some good studies and good information and all that stuff. But I will cover Smokey Saint's position on that tomorrow, Mama Atheist. But yeah, this was a glorious dumpster fire of a conversation. I love those. You guys know I love those. Tune in at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight for Women of Atheism Roundtable. And yeah, thank you very much. I will see you guys soon.